In your opinion, what do you think is the best Star Wars lightsaber duel in all 9 movies? Here is my top rundown from the worst to the best. Number 12, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Count Dooku vs Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. The first of 2 attempts to defeat Count Dooku, this lightsaber fight is enjoyable to watch because I want Dooku to show the 2 Jedi that they weren't as powerful as they thought they were at this time. Despite its odd fighting scenes, it was definitely a more enjoyable watch than the majority of the prequel movie. Number 11, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Kylo Ren and Rey vs Snoke's Praetorian Guards. A fight from the worst Star Wars movie in my opinion. You always knew in this scene that Rey and Kylo Ren are going to win against Snoke's Praetorian Guards, but the fight itself, although ridiculous, is relatively entertaining to rank in this place. Number 10, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Count Dooku once again versus Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. The second attempt to defeat Count Dooku, this fierce lightsaber fight was excellent, with Palpatine watching on pretending to be a good guy. However, Dooku on this occasion underestimates Skywalker's powers and meets his eventual fate. Number 9, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Darth Vader vs Obi-Wan Kenobi. The first lightsaber duel we ever got to watch is ranked here because although it's a pivotal moment in the entire Star Wars story, it is undoubtedly a very tame fight compared to all of the other lightsaber duels that followed in later movies. Number 8, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Count Dooku vs Yoda. No sooner had Dooku defeated Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker does an angry Yoda appear to take on the Sith apprentice in a relatively decent fight between 2 powerful Force users. An enjoyable watch despite the disappointment of the movie itself. Number 7, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Kylo Ren vs Rey. The fight was rather good in terms of how young the characters struggled against each other in the snowy forest setting. However, I do admit it could be ranked lower in this list, but the rigour of this fight was interesting in terms of Ren's vulnerability and Rey's strength to defeat him. Number 6, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Darth Sidious vs Yoda. I rank this fight for its significance between the galaxy's 2 most powerful Force users at the time. Darth Sidious was never going to let Yoda overthrow him, and their duel seemed almost symbolic of the story to that point, when the Republic had become the newly formed Galactic Empire. Number 5, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Darth Sidious vs Mace Windu. A strange lightsaber duel between these two, however this is the first time Sidious is wielding a lightsaber to fight 4 Jedi at the same time. Once again this fight has significant meaning as the Jedi realise Supreme Chancellor Palpatine is indeed the elusive Sith Lord. Its conclusion is another pivotal moment for the Star Wars story when Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader. Number 4, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Darth Maul vs Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This duel is definitely one of the best fight sequences in Star Wars history, and also one of the longest fights in a single movie. My reason for its ranking in the list is because the fight's outcome has less significance in the story as a whole, and Sidious always knew a stronger apprentice would eventually take over from Darth Maul. Number 3, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader vs Luke Skywalker. The climactic confrontation between a father and son had massive ramifications for the galaxy, and so deserves to rank in the top 3 for its huge meaning between the Sith and the Jedi, and the end of Emperor Palpatine's reign over the Galactic Empire. Number 2, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker vs Obi-Wan Kenobi. A truly excellent lightsaber duel for the furious energy between them to define both character paths for the rest of the Star Wars story. An intense duel which culminates in the reason why this doesn't end well for one of them. But in pole position for the best lightsaber duel and its meaning is number 1, Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader vs Luke Skywalker. A young Luke Skywalker who is not a Jedi yet takes on the Dark Lord of the Sith in this cat and mouse duel between good and evil. Darth Vader's confession to Luke that he is indeed the boy's father was shocking to everyone when the movie first aired in 1980. A truly huge moment as part of the best Star Wars movie made to date. What would be your best lightsaber fight and why? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching.